And hello everybody. Hi. This is a late morning video. It's 11 o'clock here. Overcast as hell, so I don't know how well you can see me. Boxed in and drawn out. So, this video is just off the top of my head. I've had some comments on YouTube from Jesse, Jason, and somebody else, Soundbox. Soundbox, you said something about resin. You said, it's resin. I do so much rambling in my videos, I don't know what exactly you're referring to with it's resin. I wouldn't mind a notification back from you on what you mean by that. So, tell me what you mean by it's resin. Because I don't remember, I don't want to listen, I don't want to go through the whole video again. It takes time. Somebody else asked me to speak clearer. Okay. I've had a speech impediment all my life. Right there you can hear some of it. Speech impediment. And I usually have a problem mostly with my ahs. What's an ahs? He's the guy behind the curtain and the wizard. No. R's. I've had to say R's all my life. And even in my name, Richard. I get the R sound in the beginning, but the second R sound is an ah. Okay, that's my speech impediment. I've had that all my life. SH's, CH's, I slur them. I actually speak German with a perfect accent. And which is actually something that I've always thought about, because when I was growing up, I had non-24, which they're only now thinking about non-24 and coming up with stuff. And it's where your body's clock is not set to where you are. And my whole time growing up, I was always timed to the other side of the world. I could not get to sleep at night. Even if I stayed up all night, all the next day, I could not sleep that next night. I was always tired, and I always slept during the days, and I slept hard, and I slept long. I had non-24. They didn't know about it in the 70s. But my speech impediment is actually a natural German accent. I speak German almost fluently. Other languages, well, Russian too. I've had pretty good job with Russian. Okay, other languages, Oriental, Southeast Asian, Indian, Middle Eastern, I've always had more of a problem learning. But German and Russian, it's almost as if my body was timed to the other side of the world. And I don't believe in God, I believe in reincarnation. So I think my past lives, one of my last past life before the one I'm on now, I was on the other side of the world. And my body was, I used to have vivid dreams of the other side of the world. Germany, Russia, that whole area. All of Europe. And it's something that you've got to believe in. I do. If you don't, hey, it's alright. Don't bust my bubble. I believe in what I believe. So, I'll try to speak clearer and succinctly, but sometimes I want to get so much information out that I start slurring my words and my speech impediment becomes clearer, no matter how hard I try to get rid of it. So it isn't that I'm stoned, because I've told you, I don't get stoned off the weed. I'm not high. You're hearing my speech impediment. And my pain. My pain changes my speech too. I get slower and lower, and people mistake that for me being high. I'm all smoked up right now. Okay? In the videos where you hear me going slower and lower and maybe slurring my words and not talking, and when I did talk fast, it wasn't very clear. That was actually pain. Now, Jason, was it? Yes. He gave me 2 good comments and then 1 negative. Thanks for the good comments. Now, in the negative comment, I don't try to discourage people from Kratom. It's freedom of choice. Everybody's got free will. You want to try Kratom, try Kratom. I've done 2 videos on it for a friend. I'm not going to do any more. But I don't talk it down as much as I just don't talk it up. Because I don't like the alkaloid profile. And the fact that it will do 2 different things. Okay, opiates, morphine. You take one pill, it'll take care of your pain. You take the other pill, it'll kill you. That's what the alkaloids and the main alkaloid and opiates are. Now, mitragynine, Mitragynine speciosa, Kratom, has got many alkaloid profiles for all different strains of the leaf and where they're grown. And there's just very little regulation, and everything's dependent. And everything's dependent on where the tree's from. Is it Thai? Is it Laotian? Is it Cambodia? Is it Vietnam? It's where it came from. And it's also dependent on the time of the season when they harvest the leaves, and even the time of day can have an effect on the alkaloid profiles. And the same leaf, you say you take a spoonful for demonstrative purposes only. Say you take a spoonful, it gives you cocaine-like effects. -like. I'm not saying it's like cocaine. It's cocaine-like effects. Uplifting, euphoria, you're able to get work done. Trust me, I was on coke. I know what cocaine-like means. Okay? And it did. I worked hard on coke. I worked harder on meth, but I didn't work right. Meth really screwed me up. But coke wasn't that bad. Anyway, so cocaine-like. Now the same batch of leaf, from the same time, the same batch that you're holding in your hand, you double the amount, say, just for demonstrative purposes, and take 2 tablespoons, it now does not act like cocaine. It acts like morphine, or opium, or heroin. So it's a dose-dependent alkaloid profile that can be iffy, and it can make people sick. It makes people sick. And there is one death, but that death also had fentanyl, tramadol, diphenhydramine, cough syrup, and something else in it. That's what killed the person, was all the additives. Okay? I'm not saying Kratom killed him. But his use of Kratom allowed him to get this bad batch that did kill him. Okay, so I don't really put it down because it's a homeopathic medicine. People have been using it for millennia. You want to use Kratom, go ahead, use Kratom. I just can't promote it. That's all. So, I'm not putting it down. I'm just not promoting it. There. Wasn't that easy? Let me go inside. Okay, I'm back. I have no freaking idea where I left off. I was talking and talking and talking. Look down here. My clock wasn't moving. Okay. So I hope Jesse, Jason, Artiste, I hope you guys got some answers. Artiste, I'd like to know what the resin is. Getting back to the alcohol, Jeff Sessions is, like I said, weed ignorant, or a weediot, okay? Not calling a person specifically an idiot, I'm saying a weediot. You don't understand weed. You don't understand pot, cannabis, marijuana, ganja, smoke, bud, whatever. You're not. Okay? And when you say it's going to be sold in every corner grocery store, alcohol's already there. And it's been here since pot was outlawed. Alcohol got re-legalized. Boom, Harry Anslinger took care of pot. Racially and bigotry and religiously blamed it on low-life Mexicans and African Americans and jazz musicians. That was the basis 80 years ago for the Marijuana Tax Stamp Act. And it was hell. It was the downfall of American civilization. Alcohol was pushed and lauded. Okay, they took cigarette commercials off of TV because all these deaths, the American Cancer Society, more people die of lung cancer who have never smoked in their life. But people will drink themselves into a drunken stupor and drive and kill people, if not themselves. And usually the drunk lives because he's so frickin' loose, he just goes with the flow. And nowadays airbags probably help that too. Okay? But they kill other people. And complex PTSD comes from a childhood. CPTSD comes from childhood. Neglect, domestic violence, abusive family members. I had a sister that hated me, and I had parents that didn't understand me. My mom did as close as she could. And we're kind of like psychically linked. But alcohol destroyed my family. I kept it together. My parents stayed together for the kids. And my mom said, you can come move to Arizona with me once you get off the sauce. Boom. He quit. He came out here. He got back on the sauce. We had some off and on things. He's finally dead. That's out of the way. But alcohol played a very big role in my PTSD. And it is available at every corner mom and pop grocery store, every Quick Trip, every AM PM, every Circle K, every 7-Eleven. Alcohol. You can walk into Walmart and ride out with a shopping cart full of alcohol, that 2 bottles of which would kill you. And you got all this other bet, and you don't know how many people you could kill with that cart. And what do? They ring you up, swipe your credit card, take your cash, and say, thank you, have a nice evening. Okay? And you're going out the door going, I'm gonna get fucked up. Alcohol. What would you rather see sold at a mom and pop grocery store? Oh, is this all you got left in indicas? You don't have any grape ape? Let me check the back. Hey, found an 8th grape ape for you. Boom. Smell it. Feels like good buds. Okay, harvest date, good. Things are regulated. Things are dated. You know what the harvest date is. Okay, the sale date. All kinds of things. You don't know this with alcohol. Alcohol just sits on the shelf and stays as deadly as ever. Okay? Pot loses its potency as time goes on, and especially exposed to air and heat. Alcohol stays deadly. And people drink themselves into killing themselves, killing others, causing post-traumatic stress in children and younger adults. And it's just ridiculous to sit there and bitch about pot being sold in every corner grocery store when that would be the safest thing to do, is to get rid of all your beer, get rid of all of your fucking cigarettes, and sell pot. Well, if legalization happens, There should be regulations against the government horning in on little business. Right now, cannabis is growing with small businesses, and that's the way it should stay. But they should be allowed to use the federal banking industry. Okay? Right now, FDIC will not allow pot money in. So these people need to put their $3 billion industry. Where is all that money? How many mattresses is that under? Okay? How many guns do people have to buy to protect themselves? Okay? And what other kind of alarm systems and, just to be able to stash this money until the federal banking system allows us to deposit it. And then none of these $10,000 deposits, and then they call around to see if you're laundering money. Okay, did you know that? There's a limit on your deposits. You try to deposit $10,001, they want to know why. Or is it $20,000? But the IRS wants to know why, and it wants to know where you got that money from, and it wants to make sure it got its fair share of taxes. Okay, pot money, when it goes in, it's already been state taxed. Okay, the money has already been earmarked for schools, libraries, historical monuments. Okay, that's the way to run a medical marijuana state. And the government should only be able to build 1-to-4 ratio of dispensaries in any city. 8 dispensaries locally owned, 1 government owned. And they can do a price war all they want. Because it's cheap. It's a high yield, high dollar market. You can make bank on this stuff. Okay? And we need to allow the banking system. We need this prohibition lifted. We need this lawsuit against Jeff Sessions to go through. And I hope people bring up this. The alcohol. Alcohol and cigarettes are available where pot should be available. And it's safer. Because like I said, it's safer than aspirin. And what can you buy in a little 2-pack right there in the grocery store? A little 2-pack of aspirin. Oh, I got a bad migraine. Let me take 8. Well, let me tell you, after 8 of those you bleed out. You can have a stroke, an embolism, throw a clot. You don't know. Pot doesn't do that. Mostly it makes people sick to the stomach when they smell it. That means they usually can't handle it. Maybe a sativa will work. Drop the indica, go to sativa. Or the other way around. Maybe they don't like the smell of a sativa, but they'll smoke an indica. You don't know. But until people are given the chance to utilize cannabis, they'll never understand why people do want to keep using it. Okay? I want to keep using it for the quality of my life. And that's what it's come down to. My quality of life. Pot has improved it. Morphine has helped, but the pot has kept the morphine monkey at bay. No monkey on my back. I swear to God. Why else do I have to get reminded to take my pills? Think about it. Marijuana has done that for me. And it's a lifesaver. And if I do nothing but promote marijuana from now on and say nothing about K ever again, I just don't want to talk about it, make your own videos for it. You promote it. I won't put it down, but I won't promote it. So, alcohol is the deadly drug that is being sold everywhere, and it should not be. We should not be allowed. I mean, when I was in the service, hell, we drank like fishes. We literally went in there in a group of 5 or 6 guys with a shopping cart and full of bottles and 12 packs and everything. And that's when we drank hearty because we worked hard. Okay? If you know what a grunt is, you'll understand the meaning of the word grunt. okay? Because a grunt can take it. A man can't. A grunt is a soldier that can live in the dirtiest, mud-encrusted. His weapon is clean and well-oiled, even though he hasn't bathed in months, crawling through the slime. Just look up grunts, okay? We partied hardy, but many, many people got fucked up and sick from too much alcohol. Back then, we laughed about it. Oh, motherfucker can't handle it. Nowadays, okay, I'm thinking clearer and I'm thinking for people. Okay, that's why I don't drink. Because I know I can drink and drink and drink and I can mess myself up. I've drank myself near coma death or near coma time many times. But I don't drink that much anymore. So, alcohol is available in all these stores. Our children, 18 to 20 years old, we're still children. Okay, even though they trusted me with a machine gun and weapons and explosives. But at 18, I was still a child and I was still experimenting. And I was drinking and drinking and drinking. Didn't interfere with my job, but it was probably has a lot to do with a lot of my problems today. But anyway, alcohol is so readily available. Cannabis should be. Because all this stuff everybody whines about, cigarettes, high fructose corn syrup, and all the candies, and the potato chips that just make you fat, and the sodas, and all this shit. People wouldn't know what to do if they walked into a store without any of that. It wouldn't be a store. There wouldn't be hardly anything there. Cans of pork and beans. Okay? All these businesses need their alcohol sales because they don't make a dime on cigarette sales. It all goes to taxes and shit. But all this alcohol is available where pot ought to be. Or pot should be only in licensed, restricted, tested labs and grow rooms and dispensaries. Nobody is allowed in without a valid card. Unless they're a toddler with mom. Okay? And they should be treated like I'm treated. Okay, I consider these people my friends. I have two friends on my groups, Aaron and Shannon now, that are my bud tenders at Botanica. Love you girls, you sisters. Okay, I've got a 5-year relationship with this one dispensary, and I'm going to stick with them because their packaging is awesome. But it comes down to good bud, they've got it. And good bud is what is so medicinally active in the cannabis plants. And I will do a video talking about cannabinoids individually and how they affect individual diseases. I'll start doing some notes here and try to take care of 2 or 3, 4 or 5 diseases and their cannabinoids and what kind of actions it does. I'll do all that research. But I'm always open to more suggestions. So, all you guys, I'll try to talk slower and more succinctly. It's not the weed, it's not the pot or opium, it's the speech impediment. All my friends know Cowboy from the day back in the day. I couldn't say my R's very well, so, This one girl, I said, hey, there's a company potty. Can I go? Where's the potty? She goes, 2 doors down. Not the potty, the potty. I just couldn't say my R's. So, anyway. Hope I answered questions for Jason and all them. And I'm not going to talk about K anymore. But I wanted to bring up alcohol. And how Jeff Sessions' ignorant statement of cannabis being sold in every mom and pop corner store, which will never come true. All the while, alcohol is. And if that man goes home every night to a glass of scotch on the rocks, he's a freaking hypocrite. Think about that. Free Cannabisei family from the prison of ignorance. Cannabis and hemp can save our lives and save this planet. Hemp industry is an untapped potential, and everybody knows it. But certain people don't seem to want to financially let go to some things. I think too many people are bought off by the cotton industry, which is losing money because bales are dropping, and they want to grow hemp in Arizona, but they wouldn't. Doug Ducey wouldn't allow it. That's such a bullshit move. That's a multi-million, billion, trillion-dollar industry in Arizona alone in hemp. Because we're so temperate, we can get 3 crops a year. And, hemp legalization and hemp industry, I'll probably end up doing another video. I've got plenty. This is 119 videos. I hope everybody's going through all of them. They'll have different things about inside of them. So, 119 videos. Stop this one at a half an hour. I just wanted to address the Kratom issues. Drop that. My speech is a speech impediment. It's been with me since birth. I'll try to speak slowly and succinctly through it. And when it comes to Jeff Sessions talking about good people not smoking marijuana, I say bad people stand in the way of pot legalization. And when he says it's a sad state when it's grown in every mom and pop store, it will not be ever. It will be sold in licensed, registered dispensaries with a double lock system of you got to come into the ante room and show your card before you'll be allowed into the bud room. And you'll never be allowed in the grow room. That's a proper dispensary. And that's the way it should be. Because it's safer than aspirin. It's safer than everything on the shelves in the mom and pop grocery stores. It's safer than aspirin. It's safer than Pepto-Bismol. People have no idea of the foods and the toxicity. Look up the Monsanto Protection Act. I'm hoping the Roundup lawsuit goes through because that will nullify the Monsanto Protection Act. Let's see that get going. But as far as cannabis legalization, that's what I do. And that's what I'm sticking to. Cannabis legalization. If other homeopathics sneak in, mostly it's because I'm using the terpene profile of evergreens and rosemary and things like that. They have a specific terpene profile. Pine makes most people feel relaxed. It's the beta-pinene. Okay, I'll go over all these. I'm also going to be talking about diseases and the individual cannabinoids that will help them and why. I will do this research. And we need to get the message out to Jeff Sessions that he left that alcohol out of the mix. Why? It's sold at every corner grocery store. 18 to 21-year-olds can buy it with an ID card. Okay? It's not safe. I can't say anything about cigarettes because I still smoke. But pot would be the safest thing that you would ever find in a grocery store. Truth be. Also, hemp milk, oat milk, almond milk. Those things are great. They're excellent for allergies. So, peace out. Free cannabis from the prison of ignorance. Tell Jeff Sessions and the DOJ, the DEA, the times they are a-changing. Let's go normal National Organization for the Repeal of Marijuana Laws, Tommy Chong, everything. Let's go strong. Let's legalize pot by the end of 2018, at least. Just all the states, get everything lifted. People can check it in their luggage. People can check it in the plane. Okay? There's no smoking on board. So, I highlighted some questions for people from my YouTube followers. Thank you. I'm glad that people are following. Thank you for the positive comments. The negative feedback on my speech, that's me. That's just how I talk. That's my speech pattern. I tried to say my ahs or r's, and I'll do what I can to be more legible. So peace out, people. Let's free pot, and let's trade alcohol for pot. No, we can't. We can't do that. That's football, everything. We can't. But we can bring it down, okay? Instead of promoting beer so much on TV, we need to start dampening that. Have your Super Bowl commercials, fine. Have a few commercials, but once or twice an hour is too much. It's the same thing with these new biologic drugs. In the average hour of TV, I see these 3 commercials on different drugs. Humira, Ibrant, Anoro is a big one now. Those things are hazardous to our health. They're biologics. They're recombinant DNA from things that should not be in our system. Cannabis fits our endocannabinoid system, which has been there for millennia, since we were conceived. We're tied to the cannabis plants. Facts, people. You cannot deny chemistry, DNA, histography, because it's proven. So, give me some more feedback. I love it. Thank you. I'm glad to see it going around. I hope you guys are sharing it. I don't get notification because I don't have YouTube Red. But I hope I'm getting shares, because I want my stuff viral. I want people to understand that pot is pot, and it is great. Okay? I'm not speaking as a pothead, stoner, toker, nothing. I'm speaking as a patient. So, peace out again. Let's free marijuana from the prison of ignorance. Let's free the bud. Let's get healthy. Let's save the environment. Thank you.